Why is you at that woman's child's school?
Witnesses said, hey, that's the shooter.
We not doing well. I lost my sister today.
And I know for a fact none of that happened, how they just explained it. But my truth will get out here, and I hope everybody understand.
Welcome back to Park Jones. 31-year-old Quadajah Holly Johnson was back in court yesterday, February 3rd, 2026, for the first-degree charges in the shooting death of Romeca Meeks. Now, let's run it back real quick. A Chicago woman named Romeca Meeks was fatally shot back in September, just minutes after she dropped her son off for school. The day started off like any other. Romeca got her son ready for school, wrote him a loving note, and then dropped him off. What happens next is still a little bit all over the place, but Romeca and Holly, who both have children by Carlos Smith, have a verbal altercation in the street that escalates. Carlos is also on the scene, and it ends with Romeca being shot multiple times, leaving not only her family but an entire community in grief and shock.
They said after that first shot was fired, there was a pause. Why is that important? Somebody may say, okay, why is that important? That's important because you fire one shot at someone, they're down, you pause, and then you ramp up again, and other shots are then fired. And one of the issues that came up in this is that Quadajah Johnson had filed, and I believe the date is June, she filed in June, an actual order of protection against Romeca Blackmon, saying that she was indeed the aggressor coming after her, is what she was alleging. We actually found some paperwork. Now, mind you, there could be several different orders of protections, but in this particular case, one of the orders of protection that we definitely can confirm existed was never delivered to Romeca Blackmon. In fact, every time the sheriff's, I believe it was the Sheriff's Department of Cook County, and I'll go back and review this, but a sheriff's department, just to be safe, tried to deliver this, they could never make contact. And in fact, they tried to deliver it after she was passed on.
After the incident, we get more details in the case. Apparently, Holly and Romeca were in a love triangle of sorts over Carlos. Depending on who you ask, Holly was the aggressor or Romeca was the aggressor. Regardless, the common narrative is that Romeca, for the most part, was trying to move on and focus on her son.
I would never be begging a with me after he got a baby on the way. I would never be having matching t-shirts on with a that got a baby on the way. I would never be trying to play family with a that got a baby on the way. I would never want to be with a nigga that burnt me while I was pregnant. I would never want to be a bitch like that. I would never be telling random people that my baby daddy burnt me. I would never tell nobody no shit like that. I would never tell random people that my baby daddy cheated on me our whole relationship, my whole pregnancy, that he cheated on me. I would never, you could never get me to tell no shit like that to no random people that I don't fucking know. I would never want to have a job to where I'm wiping old people's ass and giving old people showers and feeding them and shit. I would never want to have a job like that. I would never want to have a job that my car was in the shop for 2 years. I couldn't get it out. I would never want to have a job like that. I'm wiping ass and I ain't got no car still. I would never want no job like that. I would never want to be with a nigga got so many bitches pregnant.
In the weeks after the shooting, Holly was taken into custody, but no charges were immediately filed, which created tension in the community because based on witness testimony that went viral, a lot of people, myself included, believe this was an execution.
She's the one who shot her. But she shot her.
Oh my fucking God!
I'm a baby in the car. How you feel? Someone dropped her. Get up. You scared as hell, right? Scared as hell. No, it wasn't. That is not self-defense. You were trying to stop her in the car, bro. You're throwing her in the car, bro. What are you talking about? You had her in a headlock. When you shot her, Brody, I was there. I write a statement. Don't worry about it.
I got arrested. There's a fucking gun on the street. I'm licensed to carry.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bitch.
You shot somebody. What's wrong with you?
Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
She put the gun in the car. The gun, she shot her? Let's go right here. She shot her. She shot her. She put the gun in the car.
It wasn't until 3 months later that Holly was arrested and charged in the shooting death of Romeca. Based on posts that have circulated, it seems that Holly had a battery in her back and likely thought her actions were justified. Again, we heard witness testimony, but some of the details shared in court were even more disturbing.
With that being said, we also found out that Quadajah Johnson is indeed pregnant at this moment, 7 weeks pregnant, and her attorneys really tried to drive home that point with the judge in court today for her to be released. Yeah. The judge made some pretty straight up statements, one being that when this shooting happened, at one point, the actual alleged shooter, Quadajah Johnson in this case, fist bumped the father that she and Romeca Blackmon have in common with their children, fist bumped him after the shooting. And the judge said, someone like that, basically, I'm essentially gonna, melt down his words into essentially what he said, does not deserve to be out roaming the streets.
The fact that Holly got pregnant so soon after the shooting without the case being officially closed by police shows that she's very short-sighted and clearly thought nothing would come from this. Now that she's pregnant, she wants the world to stop and make exceptions for her, but women give birth in jail all the time. Audacity is at an all-time high. And speaking of Carlos, he has not been charged in the incident, but he certainly is playing defense.
A lot of details came out in court today for the hearing of Quadajah Johnson, including the fact that this was the first time when the shooting unfolded that she allegedly laid eyes on Romeca Blackmon. We know that she and Romeca Blackmon, they both have children by the same man. And for the very first time, we are hearing from Carlos Smith. He was the man on the scene when this tragic shooting unfolded. So a lot of information came out in court today. Witnesses saying what they saw, but you were there. What's your reaction to what you heard came out in court today?
When I heard it, I'm just looking, it was unbelievable, but I was there. And I know for a fact none of that happened, how they just explained it. But my truth will get out here, and I hope everybody understand.
The issue here is that a lot of the situation is due to Carlos playing both sides with both women. While I'd never hold him accountable for Holly's actions, his own behavior is just as disturbing. Facebook is his journal, and he has made posts about the situation. Some of them are inflammatory and fanning the flames, just agitating people who want to see justice for Romeca. For example, he posts an old video of Romeca's son with Holly's son, and just yesterday he made a post saying, "I love you, Holly." Then shortly later he makes another post saying, "I love you, Romeca." It's just disgusting, especially when some witnesses allege that he had Romeca in a headlock, and according to the judge, there was a fist pump. And this flippant attitude has caught up with him at the courthouse.
You know we got it on us. We've been quiet for too long, baby. We've been quiet too long.
Holly is standing on defense, but the reality is that a fist bump is inconsistent with self-defense. She was in court yesterday and a motion was filed requesting a buccal swab, also known as a cheek swab, to analyze her DNA.
To order the defendant to submit to the taking of buccal swab samples, and then they cite a rule. And in this case, it's the Supreme Court Rule 413 parentheses A7. In support of this motion, the people state, number one, defendant Quadajah Johnson is charged in the above captioned matter with the offense of first-degree murder. Number two, The firearm involved in this matter was swabbed for biological material. These swabs will be submitted to the Illinois State Police Crime Laboratory for DNA analysis. So they're trying to see whose DNA is on the weapon. Is it solely Quadajah Holly Johnson? Is it someone else's DNA also on that weapon? And so they're trying to get to the root of that. Whose DNA was on the weapon?
The most disturbing piece of this case is that Romeca lost her life over a situation regarding a man. This is why on the channel, to my young ladies, I tell you to stay clear of foolishness and remain unbothered. When a man shows you who he is, believe him and move on, because as much as men say they don't like drama, they do. And I'm sure Carlos got a kick out of being in the middle of their love triangle or whatever this was, because everyone's saying Romeca had moved on. The issue with Holly is that she doesn't have any strong female influences in her life who would have steered her clear of a situation like this. She basically said Romeca was pathetic and a fool for putting up with all of Carlos's BS, but she's clearly so worried about what Romeca had going on that she didn't even realize she was in a relationship with the same man who allegedly did all those things. For some reason, she believes she's above getting this same treatment. The reality is, Carlos is gonna move on. Holly has been in jail for about 2 months now. Give it until the summer and Carlos is gonna be out of here. He's got negative attention and things aren't looking good for Holly. They aren't married, so there's nothing for him to hold on to. His biggest thing is to maintain his innocence. So this is where we wrap. Let me know your thoughts on this case. Do you think prosecutors took too long to charge Holly? Do you think Carlos is truly innocent? And do you think this is a case of self-defense? We'll continue covering the case on this channel, but be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out the videos on the screen. I'm your host, Park Jones, and I'll catch you on the next one.